Good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Kitty. Good to see you, Psycho. Good to see you, Cohagen. Kitty, my condolences to your coffee maker. I don't drink coffee, but still, my condolences. I know how some people like coffee, so having your coffee maker break, I know how it can be one of those mornings. But I hope everything else goes great for you today. It's good to see everyone here. You already know what time it is. It's time for yet another reaction to the newest chapter of Solo Leveling. We got a bit of a packed day today on this Monday. We have Solo Leveling now, we have One Piece at 12, and then we continue Tears of the Kingdom at 4. So needless to say, it's going to be a busy day, but I got so much sleep last night. I am just chock full. Yes, I used the word chock. Chock full of energy. So, let's go ahead and get started with today, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another reaction of Solo Leveling special episodes. I'm not wearing my usual button-up black shirt because that's getting washed. So I'm just wearing my turtleneck for right now until I get that washed, and then I can go back to wearing my usual black shirt ensemble. But it's like, whenever I get up here, because I was just talking to my family earlier, I was just talking to my mom earlier, and it was like, it was just a confirmation of why I do what I do. I mean, when I get up here, it really is an honor and a privilege. I look forward to doing this every day. And I'm just so humbled that I have this opportunity to entertain people in my own unique way, of course. So it's just, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And the channel is still growing. I just want to say thank you for that. But I'm just humbled by the success of this channel and the fact that I'm able to successfully entertain you. It really does mean the world to me. And I just want to say thank you for giving me that opportunity. Last we left out on Solo Leveling, Suho made his way into a brand new location where he pretty much started fighting new monsters. Well, new monsters to him. We already know of them because Jin pretty much took them all out. We ran into an entire region that was just packed with giants and dragons and orcs riding on dragons. And he even comes across the Titans that Jin has at his disposal. He comes across them and he just blitzes everyone, including the Titan King that was in the middle of his monologue before Suho just bodies him. But then he runs into Tusk, and Tusk decides to show off a little bit, where he basically nukes an entire mountain range. Now, mind you, in the last chapter, the mountain range explodes, and then the entire area around it explodes. And Suho can only look on in utter shock at an individual who's capable of setting off country-sized nukes directly in front of him. So, let's see what happens in special episode 19. And it cuts to an orc getting punched through. It cuts to more polar bears getting punched through. It's Suho just bodying everyone. Orcs, bears, titans. Suho is just beating all of them up. Even the large giant lizard men as well. And then he lands on the ground and he's got a little bit of monster blood on him. And then we see the shadow dragons. We see the shadow dragons and even more shadow soldiers standing in front of him, including one that looks like a centaur. We've never seen... Is this what the lizard... Wait a minute. Jin has centaurs? I don't remember him having centaurs. He's got centaurs. Sorry, that's really sticking out to me. But we got the Titan King who's back. And those shadow dragons, well, not even the shadow dragons. He was facing off against regular dragons, not even shadow soldiers beforehand. But we got some shadow dragons this time. Yeah, we got some more shadow soldiers, some shadow giant lizard men, a shadow centaur. I'm still wondering where Jin got that. And they're all facing down Suho. And then we get the Titan King who's back and he goes, Your Highness, Do you honestly believe you can overcome me with such feeble? And then Suho just bodies this dude in the face. And then it cuts to Gaiman, who goes, "Ever since joining my liege's army, I've dedicated myself to relentless training in the shadows, and at long last I have reached this status. Though my name may be forgotten, I shall leave a profound impression this time, and prove my unwavering loyalty to..." And Suho just bodies him as well. Suho's bodying everybody. And Suho is using their falling bodies as stepstones, as he thinks, if these monsters keep coming, my current stamina won't be enough. It's not enough. I need greater control over my strength. I must ensure precision and maximize effectiveness. Here's the thing. Suho right now is learning how to channel. He doesn't even know what this power is in him, but he's in the moment learning how to fine-tune it and control it. In this moment, in the heat of battle. Kind of like how people can fine-tune their hockey in the heat of battle in One Piece, when you think about it. I must ensure precision and maximize effectiveness. That way, I'll be able to single-handedly confront. And then it shows Suho, I'll be able to confront vast hordes and entire armies. Okay, so this man basically just channels the first Hokage's 1,000 hands veritable arm Kanon and Netaro's 1,000 arms Bodhisattva. He literally causes giant fists to appear around him that he can use. And Suho's eyes glow as all the monsters try to attack him, but he just uses these airborne fists. He's learning how to use his power without even fully knowing that he has a power within him. And he's already making use of it. He's already perfecting it. And he's already causing it to manifest in different ways where he doesn't even need to physically touch the individuals in order to harm them. He could just make construct fists around him and shoot them off. Think, what is his name? Gilgamesh from Fate Order, where he can cause all those weapons to come through gates and attack his enemies. That's what Suho can basically do, but with just a whole bunch of fists. He has rocket punches everywhere. And all these shadow creatures get hit by this massive torrent of endlessly firing fists. And then we see Tusk just floating here in the middle. And then Tusk puts a hand up and the fist dissipates on his fist because Tusk is not that easy to take down. And then he puts up a shield as it cuts to something hitting his shield, seemingly Suho, and then it cuts to Suho, who's behind Tusk as he goes, "If this is it, I'm going to be pretty darn disappointed. Get out of my sight if you have nothing more to show me." And then it shows Suho hitting Tusk full force. And it shows Tusk and his hand, like his staff is snapped and his hand falls separately from his body in the midst of all this smoke that Suho's basically kicked up. And this is beautifully drawn. In this panel, if you guys are following me, it shows Suho standing there and his whole body is just surrounded by an array of different colors. Lots of blues, and some hints of like some pinkish reds and everything, but mostly blue is Suho's color, where purple was his father's. But he's just surrounded by this massive torrent of an aura around him after he's bodied basically everyone. And you see the bodies of all the creatures he's destroyed as well. My stats didn't go up, but at least I can utilize my strength proficiently now, thanks to all that combat experience. And he's just looking at himself. And then we see someone floating in front of Suho. If this is who I think it is. I'm getting up out of my chair. If this is who I think it is, I'm getting up out of my chair. Woo! Ooh! Okay! Yes! Let's go! It is Bellion! This is going to be his best test because Bellion is the strongest shadow that Jin has. A shadow so strong that it served Ashbourne during Ashbourne's time. Bellion is literally the strongest individual under Jin himself. I'm excited. Bellion just walks in. Just imagine, he's just the same way Mihawk was walking in on Zoro. When Zoro got to his island, and all the mandrills got scared just hearing the mere footsteps of Mihawk. This is Bellion. He's slowly sauntering in, and you just see him entering. Oh my goodness, Bellion looks so good. And then it cuts to Suho, who goes, he's strong. In fact, he might be stronger than the Yant I faced before. And then it cuts to Suho saying, I'm assuming you can talk as well? Let me ask you something before we start fighting. Roughly speaking, what percentage of the entire army have I battled so far? And then Bellion speaks. Excluding the Demon Castle, the forces gathered here represent a mere 0.03% of the entire army. Excuse me? Suho has been fighting for God knows how long. And Bellion just drops it on him that you merely only took out 0.03% of the army. He didn't even reach a full percent. He only reached a fraction of it. That's what Suho's beaten thus far. A fraction of a full percent of the entire army. Suho's not beating all of them. No, he's not. He's not. I love this chapter. What a chapter to get on a Monday morning. God is good! Excluding the Demon Castle, the forces gathered here represent a mere 0.03% of the entire army. Seriously? That's it? I took down a massive horde of them, though. And then Suho blows out a breath and he clenches his fists. All right, bring it. You have grown into a strong fighter, Your Highness. And then Bellion prepares to take out his big old broad whip sword. And then Bellion walks, and then as he steps towards him, Bellion shifts from place, and he's directly in front of Suho, already attacking, and Suho barely has enough time to dodge out of the way. You guys keep calling me Your Highness or young monarch or whatever. What's up with the titles? Does it have something to do with me being dragged into this world? And he clashes with Bellion, who's just deflecting him with one hand. And why am I the young monarch? Why not just monarch? And it cuts to Suho, who tries to hit Bellion, and Bellion is just directly behind him, while Suho is still in a punching motion, and in the process, Suho actually gets a wound. He actually gets cut across his side by Bellion. That's just how much strength Bellion has. And Suho just looks in shock as Bellion's big giant sword hits the ground, breaking the ground on impact. And then it turns into a whip sword as he whips it away, and we just see the eye of Bellion as his sword whips upwards. And it starts creating this cascade of blades all over the environment that Suho can do nothing but dodge from. Suho is on the defensive now. He used to be on the offensive against basically everyone, including Tusk, but now he's on the defensive because Bellion is just that strong. He can even transform his sword into a whip, and it causes Suho to try and deflect all of these blows. And then Suho catches the whip sword in between its blade sections. Mind you, when it comes to a whip sword, it all is blade until you extend it. In between is the section that keeps these blades together. If you didn't know, Suho catches that small section in between the blades and he holds on to it. Your whip sure has its uses, but why bother when I can simply grab it? And then it shows Bellion being surprised as Suho rushes towards Bellion. And then there's a massive explosion from Suho hitting Bellion. And Suho hits him again. And it shows Suho smiling. You do know that shielding yourself with both arms leaves your stomach wide open. And then, as it comes to Suho taking advantage of this weak point, Bellion looks on as there's another explosion from Suho hitting Bellion and sending Bellion flying in the opposite direction. And the force of this punch is, think Saitama when he... Pardon me. Think Saitama when he tried to... These sneezes don't want me to finish the sentence. Think of Saitama when he punched towards Genos, but he didn't hit him, but the shockwave destroyed the mountain range behind him. The punch that Suho just used had enough force to cause this massive updraft of wind, and the entire area just goes up from the shockwave. I had a feeling that wasn't going to be enough to take you down, but at this rate, we're just going to fight until dawn. You're not the boss of this place, are you? I'm pretty sure that guy's a fake. And then it cuts to Bellion, who's just getting up, as it shows a small section of his armor kind of cracked. The real one. Ooh. He said, ooh, the real one. And when Suho says the real one, we see Kaisel in the air. Who do we know that rides Kaisel? We see Kaisel in the air, and there's someone on his back. There's someone on his back, and then that person leaps from his back, and this individual jumps off and lands directly in front of Suho with a shockwave so big it takes up the entire panel. I know who this is. I know who this is. And he just lands there, and the shockwave just envelops the entire area. And Suho's prepared to fight this individual. And then Suho goes, it's him. And then this person manifests 2 daggers in his hands. And this person has a hood up so you can't see his face. And he just exudes this massive aura with a purplish tint to it, if you will. And he stands there in front of Suho with 2 daggers in his hands. And Suho just looks on. Daggers? This is the first time I'm facing a human opponent. I wonder if we can talk this out. Excuse me. And the individual doesn't speak because this person has their face obscured but a hood over their head. And the person doesn't speak. He's not answering. Huh. What's that? Why did a gate appear when I haven't even taken him down yet? That must mean that this is the last stage. Once I defeat that man, I can finally go home. And then it cuts to Suho building up so much power in his body, that it manifests as almost like wing-like protrusions from behind him. And then it cuts to him dashing from his spot, and then it cuts to this individual dashing from their spot towards each other. As dagger gets closer to fists, they clash, and the whole area just explodes. The whole area just explodes from the point of impact. To be continued! Suho versus this mysterious individual. Jin is all like, okay, time for me to show my son just how strong I am. It's Jin! Come on! It's Jin! It's Jin! It's Jin! He's seeing his son doing all this fighting, and now it's like, all right, let's see how strong you really are. But let's not overlook, now it's the end of the chapter. Let's not overlook this fact that all the fighting that Suho has been doing this entire time has made it so that he's only defeated 0.03% of the entire army of Jin. He hasn't even reached a full percent. Only 0.03%. That's all Suho has done this entire time. And here's the thing, he doesn't even finish his fight with Bellion. This is actually the first time he doesn't finish a fight with an individual. With a massively powerful Shadow Soldier. He defeated Igris, he defeated Beru, but Beru let him win. And now he defeated Tusk, but Bellion he didn't even defeat because he clearly notices that Bellion is not the strongest one there. He notices an individual. He notices Jin, even though he can't tell that it's his dad. Now, here is the thing. Here's the thing. Suho is strong. There's no doubt about it. He's already learned how to harness his power, even though he doesn't fully understand it. He's learned how to channel it and maximize it in a way where, wait, that wasn't in the chapter you read. Where am I reading? I'm reading from Tapas. I'm reading from one of the official sites that has the chapters on there. I'm reading from the Tapas site. I don't read from Scan site because translations will be different. Fan translations will definitely be different. But I'm reading from the official site on Tapas. And then there's Tappytoon as well, but they're pretty much the same in between those two websites. But yeah, that's where I'm reading from. Matter of fact, let me link it so you guys can know exactly where I read from. This is where I read from. But Suho is strong. There's no doubt about it. He's already learned how to harness his power where he can manifest it as projectile punches that he can shoot out in omnidirectional in omnidirections. Suho is strong. But he's not Jin strong. Bellion is definitely strong. But Suho took advantage of, the moments where Bellion has his swords, his arms depending on his sword, and he's able to hit Bellion, even though he's not even able to bring down Bellion. He knows Bellion is going to be tougher than every other one he's faced. But he doesn't even finish that fight. He doesn't even finish that fight. He just goes to try and take on the head honcho. The most powerful individual in the universe, mind you. Suho is strong, but he's not Jin strong. Jin has had countless years to hone this power. First, initially, when he got the power and became stronger pretty much during the end of the entire original timeline, then he went back in time and spent, 20 years? 60 years? How many years did he spend inside of that dimensional rift? He spent all those years. I'm just gonna use all. He spent all those years inside of the dimensional rift fighting the monarchs on his own and amassing an even greater army than before. Then he decided to just live out his life. He decided to just live out his life again. So it's been 60 years. He's got 60 years of experience. Of power. Unlimited power. This man who now is the most powerful presiding force in the universe because the rulers will no longer interfere due to what Jin has done. Taken out the Titans, taken out the monarchs. The rulers no longer see it necessary for them to just check up on the world that Jin is in right now. No longer check in on the universe that he's in right now. Jin is the most powerful being in his world in his world. I can't even say right now because he's the strongest in the world, period. Both naturally and supernaturally. So, for Jin to come down and be all like, all right, now it's time to see how strong my son really is. And he doesn't even reveal that it's him there. But you can tell because he's wearing dress pants, but he's also wearing some Adidas. Yeah, it doesn't say Adidas on the side. Question, if you install the app, will it show the same chapters? Yeah, it'll show the same chapters. I mean, it's just an app version, so you'll be seeing what I'm seeing. It'll just be in like an app form. Nothing's not really going to change for you, Psycho. But this chapter was good because it shows that Suho is strong. He's easy. It's very easy for him. I wouldn't say it's easy, but he's quick to adapt. Such as learning how to harness his power into an even more refined and more efficient manner. But I doubt it's going to be enough to take on his own father, who is the monarch. And he's all like, why do you keep calling me young monarch? Why not just monarch? Because that title's already taken by your father. So, ooh, this was such a good chapter. I enjoyed it. Seeing Bellion, seeing Jin. Oh my goodness. And we don't even see Jin's face. But Suho is probably gonna have an extremely hard time. I mean, Jin was already more than a match for Thomas Andre when they fought originally. Then Jin proceeded to show that he's more than a match for a monarch who was called the Monarch of Destruction, whose whole purpose is to destroy in and everything. And he faced this individual twice, along with all the other monarchs, individually on his own, and amassed an even greater amount of power. This man is so powerful, he can shift people into a different dimension before they can even notice and have them trapped there. This man can warp reality if he wanted. That's how powerful Jin is. So Suho's probably going to have such a hard time beating his own dad, because his dad is basically an omnipotent being. Let's be honest. Jin doesn't need to age. He's immortal. He cannot die. You cannot kill Jin. That's a definite thing. You cannot kill Jin. He's immortal. So Suho thinking he's going to beat his own dad? And after he talks smack about using daggers before. He talked smack when these chapters, when these gate chapters for Suho started. He was talking so much smack about daggers, and this same individual who he was talking smack about just showed up, was all like, all right, I'm gonna show you why daggers are the end all to be all, boy. So yeah, I can't wait to see next week's chapter. I'm enjoying myself with these chapters. I hope you all are as well, but Suho is about to have the fight of his life. And mind you, Jin isn't gonna kill him. But the fact that Bellion was able to injure Suho after Suho was able to one-shot pretty much everyone since Igris, it just shows you that Suho is about to enter into the ultra-hard difficulty with no counter signal over your head. All enemies are twice as aggressive, and your damage is cut by half. That's the debuff that Suho just placed himself in facing his father. His success rate has decreased. I can't wait to read the next chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic read of Solo Leveling, and I am looking forward to the next one. I'm done for today with today's reactions. We got One Piece at 12, One Piece Volume 13 at 12. We got Tears of the Kingdom later at 4. I can't wait to continue entertaining you all, but this is a fantastic way to start a morning. Kitty, Kohagen, Psycho, everyone who's here, I truly hope you all enjoyed yourselves, because I did as well. I will see you all in my... Oh, this is such a good chapter! This makes me love video games even more and more, because I get to achieve this level of power in certain video games, and that pleases me. But I'm done. I hope you all enjoyed my reaction today. Welcome back, Kitty. I know you said you were taking a break for a little bit. Welcome back. Hope everything worked out well for you during that time away. We always look forward to when you show up. I always look forward to whenever any of y'all show up. But thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to entertain you. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier as we go towards 100,000 subscribers, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic morning and the rest of your day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. What a fantastic way to start a morning.